Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Oath Esports. Today, we're going to be having some exciting matches between Strike and Error up first, and then later on tonight, we will be having Vandals and Fractal. But starting off, we're going to be Strike and Error, and we'll be on Icebox today, so very exciting. This is actually personally one of my favorite maps. I don't know about you, Jackson. Um,
Xbox. I
yeah,
love
we're we're
Xbox.
we're excited about Icebox.
Xbox
Def
is fun.
yeah, it's a pretty standard map when compared to the other ones, but it is still a lot of fun just the way the entire map is built around. So definitely excited to see what these teams have in store for us.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see this too. And one thing I want to mention is last week we watched Strike 13-2 against Damage and Error 13-3 against Vandals. So both teams are actually coming off of a big win here. So it'll be interesting to see if they can whoever can keep up that momentum from last week.
Yeah, both these teams have shown to be fairly strong. Um, just in general. So it will be interesting to see how these two teams just clash against each other and see how their play styles because we actually haven't seen Air play live yet. So this is going
Yeah.
to be or maybe it was Strike. Well, one of these teams we haven't
We
seen
watched
play live yet.
Strike play live. We did not watch Error play.
Okay, yes. Okay. So we haven't seen Air play live yet. So don't exactly know what they have in store. We have seen Strike already, so we do know what a little bit what they're capable of, a little bit more than Error, but um,
Yeah.
it's gonna
And
be fun.
one thing I also want to mention about Strike, one little highlight from week 1 was a fun little play by Dr. Ghoul. Um, was in a clutch scenario on Ascent and planted on A site while the entire enemy team was on B site and baited all of them and ended up winning the round. So a fun little highlight from her first week. Very excited to see if they do something smart like that again.
Yeah, and but we are going to as we start to jump into the game soon. Um, it is going to be interesting because Dr. Ghoul actually isn't even on Omen this time around. It's Viper, so. Um, Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a different play style from that standpoint. Maybe some lineups here and there. A little bit less aggression from the smoke players, as Viper is kind of standard on Icebox.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
so it'll be interesting to see the difference in play style just off of the different controller in general. So I don't know.
Also,
I don't know.
I don't know if you noticed this yet, Aiden, but it looks like Error is not running a duelist, so they're going to be going the no duelist on Icebox, which I don't know. That could be good for them. We'll see.
No charges
That
left.
I okay, personally, I kind of like it. I like it on
I think it
Icebox.
could go well. Yeah.
Yeah, especially since they're starting off on defense. That's definitely going to help out a little bit on their defense. They're going to be able to start off
Here.
strong and having the double sentinels and Sage and Killjoy, or yeah, Sage and Killjoy.
Yeah.
Um, and so it's definitely going to help slow down any type of attack that Strike might approach with.
Yeah. Also, very interesting to see. Strike, it looks like, is not playing KO, which I don't know about you, but I feel like KO is such a strong agent right now. It's very interesting to see them not running it. And running
Yeah,
Sky
but
instead.
already Strike doing a lot of damage over on the A side as both Phoenix and Panther trade out. So that'll be both teams a little worse for wear after that first engagement, and Strike already deciding to rotate away as the Viper wall goes down. But Land W a little bit on a lurk here through mid, might be able to catch someone here if he's patient enough, but no, just decides to push through a little bit. Gets the attention of two of the defenders, so that's going to um, just point weapons in the wrong direction as Land W's still getting all this attention. Okajix getting some shots in. Land
One
finally
enemy
hits the
remaining.
shot onto Rumor and Germs. So that's a great situation now for Strike, as now Fry all by himself on this 1v3 retake though.
Yeah, I really like what they did here with starting on A, and then once they get those picks, they swap over to B and get a fast plant down, and then are just able to hold the post plant here against Error.
Yeah, Strike all still fairly low on health. Even just this turret right here can kill Dr. Ghoul, and it does!
And it does.
Dr. Ghoul trying to get the jump peaks out, trying to just bait that damage a little bit and try and get out. Yeah, you'll just hold that angle and survive through that round.
Yeah, I really like that play from them. The super fast rotate. I don't think Error was prepared for that at all. To see them just go B and hold that post plant against them. Great shots coming out from Strike here as well to be able to get on site, get that plant down, and just hold strong.
Yeah, for sure. And now with that round being completed, they're just gonna they're actually gonna force up here. So heavy shields and a lot of specters. So definitely in the weapon advantage here. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're guaranteed this round win, as already Land has taken a little bit of chip damage just while showing himself over on the A site. But Panther's gonna grab this orb, so Rumor's gonna hear this movement over by B, so the call will be made for the rest of his team, as he's just going to back up into a little bit more of a anti-plant situation here. A Strike seems to have sight, and they just don't quite know it yet, as they're all grouped up behind yellow as Okajix hits a nice shot onto Rumor with the Guardian. So that's going to get the spike planted here as Phoenix still trying to take us a few gunfights here and there with that classic swinging out, but going to get picked off by Okajix again here. And Panther actually trades out Big Finn. So that's going to be a weapon out of the hands of the attackers. But Panther, again, with that Sheriff, lands another headshot. Now it's all up to Germs here.
Yeah, very good force here from Strike. They were able to only have one player get eliminated and got spiked down and are able to hopefully save these weapons in the next round. So great force. And it looks like Sova here is going to try to save after bomb goes off, but he gets killed by the bomb explosion, unfortunately.
Yeah, just avoiding the orb given to any of the attackers by just dying to the bomb right there. So that way they just can't build up their ultimates. So
Yeah, and I like what they're doing. They did the same thing that they did the first round, where they're starting on A, trying to see if they can get picks or not, and then they're just very quickly rotating over to B and getting plant down before Error can even respond to it, and it's clearly working out very well in their favor because they've been able to get on site without really much contention in the first place and are able to just hold strong against Error whenever they try to retake.
yeah, and Okajix actually down mid right there, able to get a pick onto Phoenix. So that's going to be the Sage out of play now as Big Finn gets a late trade-off onto Lando View through main. So it'll be back to the 4v4 very quickly. And Big Finn getting spammed through the box. Okajix still with that Guardian, going crazy, getting a lot of picks and getting a lot of value out of that weapon. And going to actually push out onto site a little bit, but right back off as the Viper Molly gets placed and the rest of Strike has already rotated towards B. So this will be an easy plant for Strike here. And now Error is going to be in this defensive retake in this 4v3.
Yeah, it's the same thing they've done. First two rounds, they're doing it again. But actually, Sova's gonna get two, so maybe it's not gonna work out as well in their favor as they might have thought. But their Jet is able to bait for them Get the rotate.
Germs with a third right there. So that's a very good situation now for Error, as Panther's still trying to take these gunfights. And it's going to slow down a little bit. Germs
enemy
swinging
remaining.
out very
Good shot.
wide, but Panther is able to hit that
Can't use
headshot
that
now.
yet.
Fry
Imagine
needs to
if
get
I
this
died.
defuse on, and there's going to be another Viper Molly onto the spike. And now there's just not enough time. Panther doing a fantastic job at just taking that time away from Error as they tried to get that retake in, and they almost had it, but Panther just doing a really well job with the with those mollies and being able to just waste that time.
Yeah, that was great from Panther there. I liked seeing Okajakes still baiting them on A. All three of Error's players were still on A, and the other three strike members were headed over to B for that plant, and they had no idea. And it worked well for them, and Germs almost clutching it up for them, getting 3 kills on that retake.
Sentry.
But great plays from Strike holding that down, and especially from Panther there at the end.
Yeah, Big Finn holding a very aggressive angle right here with that stinger. It will be burst fire as he is aiming down the sights, but Okajix with a jumping headshot with the jet knives, and Cyberbite will just
One
follow
enemy
through
remaining.
as well, as and Land W will just add to the it just add to it as they just all have pushed on to A, and they just have this forward position now. So Phoenix coming back through the spawn of the attackers here.
What was a no?
Yeah, Cyberbite just on top of things, able to land that headshot, and that's a flawless round right there for Strike, as they just got really aggressive that round and almost caught Air on their heels a little bit.
Well, you know, Aiden, they knew that since they won that little bonus round, which was that third round there, meaning they knew that they didn't have as many guns and Error was going to force, but they ended up winning it anyway. So they knew that Error wasn't going to have guns that round because they were able to beat them on that bonus. So they were able to just force it down mid and get those kills on them without much contention. They just had the better weapons.
Yeah, Rumor already seeing a little bit of action down B main, so he's going to make the call as the rest of his team slowly start to make their way over to B site. But the rotate's already coming out from Strike, so hope it does seem as though they're a little bit more patient here, as we already see this double rotate coming in. Germs finding a nice pick on the rotate, and Big Finn as well, since he's already set up on this site, finds himself one as well, but Cyberbite will trade that through.
Placing swarm
Fry in this forward position, just trying to slow things down as much as possible.
See Viper.
And
Viper's mid.
Viper mid. Rumor
Oh, they know now.
in this aggressive peek, trying to get any type of pick, but no, Land hits the headshot, but that will slow things down quite a bit, do a little bit of damage, but the Sky Heal will bring everybody back up to
30 seconds
100
left.
health. So the plant will be placed down since, oh no, with the Sova, Germs in a very good position here to still stall. There's the first.
Oh, he picked him!
Oh, he gets it. So he does a lot of damage. Both remaining members of Strike are both one shot here. So Phoenix on this flank is actually in a very good
One
position
enemy
here.
remaining.
Lanes the
Doesn't
first.
go!
You're gonna get the second. Cyberbite jumping behind cover. The slow will come out as the flash will respond. Cyberbite with this wide swing, but Phoenix able to
Yeah.
land that shot.
That was a great Sova ult. Great Sova ult from Germs, because Strike comes in with that plant on the rotate. They kill the Rumor Viper mid, and they get to sight on a 3v1 against the Sova, but Sova sitting there with ult was able to tag them for so much damage, killing one and putting two at 1 HP. So then Phoenix with that flank behind him, nothing they could have done when they were 1 HP, and Phoenix can just spray him down like that.
Yeah, that was fantastic timing right there from Germs. To be able to both have that ultimate and to be able to be in that position. And so, I mean, honestly, that kind of won them the round right there. Just being able to get that opening pick with the ult, and then to be able to put the remaining two attackers so low. It just almost made it too easy for his teammates to clean up. But LandW already finding that headshot onto Fry, who's again trying to be aggressive onto those pipes. So Land will actually have the Sage res if needed later in this round, as Big Fin taking a lot of damage onto 1 HP, as Rumor and Panther both get traded out. And so, but Panther actually planting on B. It was another fake.
Another fake.
So Panther,
Really
Panther with that plant is going to be holding this spike by himself for a little bit here, as the rest of his team tries to make it over. So, but he will successfully do so. The rest of his team is here. Okajix getting that first pick onto Germs, as Germs tries to swing out and take some control onto site. Phoenix though on this flank, not sure if Strike is aware of this, as Okajix continues to move forward and get more and more control of the site.
Yeah, this second it looks like we're gonna get a save here. Wait, maybe Phoenix and Panther kills him. But one thing, they get another. They did it again. Another bait plant from Strike. They're baiting A. All of Error thinks that they're on A, but Strike and Panther goes over and plants on B, and then is able to just play safe and wait for the team to rotate, and then all they have to do is play post plant. And in a game like Valorant, where holding an angle is much easier than somebody peeking, when you can get the bomb down and play post plant on attack and play it on defensive angles, it's going to work out so much better, which is what Strike here is doing super well at setting up for themselves.
Yeah. But moving into this round, Strike is actually immediately deterred from this A side due to that Viper's Pit. So even though Error is on this save, they are very aware of where this attack is going. So Strike
You should run.
just lumbering onto site, and there will be the lockdown from the Killjoy. So that will slow things down for this retake here, as Okajix just taking this opportunity to just push into the spawn actually, and just try and get as many picks as possible. As Rumor does do a little bit of damage in taking out Land, but the rest of Strike will clean things up and will just look very good on that save round, that anti-eco round.
Yeah, it looks like Strike decided to switch it up, knowing that, again, Error probably didn't have any weapons on him. So I think they thought that just full rushing it onto B was going to work out for them, and it did. So great round from them.
Yep. We do see a few. There are a few ults on the board for both Error and Strike. We see the KO ult and the Sage for Error. So plenty of options just from those ultimates, just from those two. You have the res from Sage, and as Phoenix lands a nice shot, but will be immediately traded out by Panther. So that will almost be sight, maybe? As Germs does a little bit more damage as well onto Panther, or onto Okajix, sorry, but Panther gets that trade. So we're seeing immediate trades coming out from Strike, as Big Fin on the lurk behind, but Panther on top of things actually gets himself a third for the round. So now,
yeah, Panther on the
Last
base
player
right
standing.
Kills last two.
no, LandW swipes that opportunity immediately, but Rumor able to get that elimination, and that's the second actually onto Panthers. They're now in 1v1. Time is ticking down here now. But all the Killjoy utility is on the bomb, so it's going to make it so much harder for Rumor to get this retake through. And yeah, he'll just back off and say there's just not enough time. Those Killjoy mollies just had enough time to just waste, really.
Yeah.
And it was a great attempt, though, from Rumor right there, being able to eliminate almost everybody. But Dr. Ghoul, just with the utility, just able to play offsite, not even show where she's playing and able to secure the round that way.
Yeah, and one thing you can see Fry, their Killjoy, tried to do was go put all her util on B because they've been slow pushing B every time, but the one time they decide to go A is the one time Fry tries to go B.
Spike
Wow.
down B.
Immediately a trade coming out, and Okajik's actually just continuing with that momentum of that first pick. Even though Spike is down, Rumor does have control of the Spike, and Germs with this lurk through mid, able to get the pick on Okajik. Lan and Phoenix in a very awkward gunfight, just trading back and forth, but Germs coming in to help from screens, gets that pick onto Lan. So this is a very good situation now for Air, and Rumor hits the headshot onto Cyberbite. So now in this 1v3, Panther just is going to have to try and get this bomb back if he wants to get this plant down. And ooh, it's very good timing on to Panther, and gets that first pick on Rumor. So that's very good for Panther now, as he's going to try and rotate back to B, possibly even get this plant down, as there's the smoke and there's the ult used as well. So this is going to be a little awkward. Phoenix pushing through and gets that headshot onto Panther. So actually, I'm not sure if that was an eco or if that was a half buy coming out from Error, but for the most part, weaker weapons, and they definitely made the best of their situation that round.
That was great timing from Phoenix there with the Spectre. Viper ult goes down, knows he's planning, pushes into that Viper ultimate, sees that he's in the middle of planning, is able to get a pick on him and defuse the bomb. So that was a great half buy from them. Germs with the Stinger and Phoenix with the Spectre. Good timings from them.
Placing sentry.
Yeah, for sure.
Get out of my way.
Revealing area.
Yeah, definitely played off of each other very well right there. With those weaker weapons, they got to be able to play those trades. But Okajix with the updraft, able to hit that headshot onto Germs, just absolutely feeling himself as he just continues to push into the defender's spawn here, and gets actually another one onto Fry as Okajix continues to just run rampant and going to try and go for another one, and he gets another one.
That's three.
That's a 3 for Okajix on the round with these jet knives, and it'll be a flawless response from Strike after that loss from the weaker weapons.
Yeah, what a great round from Okajix there. That's the Jet power. Jet, such a strong agent, especially on offense. Her sight take power is crazy, especially when she has knives, because she can just move super well. And in a game like Valorant, it's hard to hit moving targets super easily. So with Okajix just updrafting and getting these headshots with her knives and entering onto sight and giving her team the free plant, Jet, perfect agent. Except he will get picked off by Phoenix here.
Yeah, great opening pick right there for Phoenix and Error. So I'll put Error up immediately into a 5-4 man count. Panther not realizing Big Finn is in the corner, and he's actually 2 with the ghost. Fantastic positioning right there, but Lan will go for the res and then also get a pick. So that's going to even things back out as Dr. Ghoul actually gets another pick onto Fry. So even though the defender Killjoy is down and the attack cannot go into A for a short time, it doesn't really matter, as they're going to opt to rotate away. So that immediately flipped things into Strike's favor off the back of that res. So Rumor seems to be somewhat aware of this rotate, as he's already heading back towards A. There's going to be the Killjoy ultimate. So that's going to probably get them the plant that they need. Rumor. Yeah, Lan just with that lurk, able to get that pick onto Rumor. It's now all up to Germs here. He does have a rifle, so this is completely doable, but no! Okajix with the Phantom hits that double headshot onto Germs, and
round before the switch.
actually, that was a very good round by Strike. They were able to bring that back from what seemed like defeat, by just being able to get those picks and then even that res coming through, just flipping that man count almost on a dime. It was just great work by Strike.
Yeah, good resurrect from Land W onto Okajix, securing them that round for sure. I will say, great picks with the Ghost from Big Finn though. On all he had was a Ghost against these rifles, and he's able to pick too by just having great positioning sitting behind the generator.
Yeah, Phoenix already seeing a few of the jump spots, and then even that Sova recon arrow will confirm as Panther gets the first pick onto Germs. The Sage Wall will go out, the slows as well. So we're going to see quite a bit of utility being used here, and we're going to see a couple trades come through as well. So
KO ult.
yeah, there's the KO ult coming through. Panther on the
Spike
plant.
planted.
Finn gets a nice pick, and Phoenix will res Fry. So that's going to help a little bit here. As Panther continuing with that Odin, doing a lot of damage here in this retake. And Rumor will get gunned down by Panther as well. Cyberbite
One enemy remaining.
thinking about using the ult, but Panther just everybody lining up with that Odin, just spraying with
Switching
that
sides.
100-round magazine. That was a great half right there from Strike.
Yeah, that was. Oh, Error almost brought that back with the res. Panther getting good kills as well. And it was a 4v3 going into retake site, but like I said about defense, just defending and sitting there watching angles, especially when Panther, or Rumor, sorry, can just put his orb up and spray with that Odin through his orb. And just, the Odin in scenarios like that is crazy and is able to take them out.
Yeah, the Odin is not a weapon you see too often bought, just because it is a little bit cumbersome. It slows down the player that is using it. But whenever it is used, the sprays that come through with it, just because you never really have to reload with it. So it's pretty good in that situation. But Cerbite, oh my goodness, had a good opportunity right there, but Rumor just swinging wide, able to get 2 picks into this opening sequence right here as Fry gets this plant down, but Rumor just stuck in the corner, gets killed by the molly now. Okajix finds a nice shot with that Sheriff, but Fry responding almost immediately. So now with this spike planted, Land W getting a lot of attention from these attackers.
One
So
enemy remaining.
as Panther's gonna be able to move behind Yellow. Fry now by himself, trying to get these shots with the frenzy, but no. Lan and Panther just playing off of each other flawlessly right there, just pinching Fry into a really uncomfortable situation, getting that crossfire through, and being able to secure this first defending round for Strike.
Yeah, great play there. It's always with Valorant, you know, it's team play. Team play is super important. So seeing what one team does on offense is going to be very
Spike
different
out.
to seeing what another team does on offense. So here with Error now on offense here, we could see that they played it a little differently than Strike did in the first half. Strike rotating quite a bit, going from site to site, waiting to get plant down. But Error just running straight in, and actually worked pretty well for them until Strike was able to get the retake on them.
Yeah, and it seems as though Air actually just running onto site, getting a lot of control here. We're gonna see we're gonna see a few trades coming through. Phoenix going crazy with that stinger, being able to hit 2 headshots right there. So and it's not an easy weapon to use exactly. It just has a lot of recoil. So now with this spike planted, we're gonna be looking at this 2v2. Cyberbite getting a little spooked by his teammate right there, as they start this retake.
Yeah,
One enemy
what
remaining.
did the first round, when Error did the first round, they're just taking it quick. Phoenix already getting 3 kills with that stinger. Clearly, Strike was not prepared for it, and I think they knew that, and it's working for them. All they gotta do is hold this retake, this post plant, which is, you know, like I said before, in Valorant, getting that post plant down on offense, because defense is obviously a lot easier, because holding those angles are easier than having to push into the angles, and the attackers can only come from certain spots. So with getting plant down the way that they did, the way that Error did here, just rushing onto site, getting the 2 or 3 picks that they need, getting plant down on site, all they got to do is play post plant, and you are now the defending team.
Yeah, and I also want to point out, Air actually forced through that round, even though they lost the first. They were a little bit weaker economy wise. They just went ahead and bought Stingers and Spectres right there. So I definitely think that also caught Strike a little bit off guard, as they were probably expecting a lot of classics to be shooting against, but instead, Strike, or no, sorry, Air, just with those automatic weapons, just kind of catching a Strike on the heels a little bit. So Rumor gets another pick with that Stinger, as well as Phoenix, sorry. And so that's going to be a very good situation now for Error.
Last player
Yeah,
standing.
Phoenix and Big Fin also continuing to get these picks with the Stingers. And now, just in this post plant 4v1, it's a very difficult situation for Dr. Ghoul. As lands a nice shot
shot.
onto Big Fin with the Sheriff. So
Getting the
looks
Spectre.
as though she's gonna try and do a little bit more damage before she gets out. Walking out of the door on the rafters, Rumor will hit the last shot onto Ghoul. So that'll shut things down. And honestly, Air starting to pick up a little bit of steam here on this attack.
Yeah, Error getting 2 right there. Valorant is definitely a momentum-based game, so getting that second round forcing probably felt very good for them. And they're gonna bonus right there, meaning they kept their eco weapons from the round before, knowing that Strike wasn't gonna have any rifles on them, so they could win with that. And now they're able to upgrade to full rifles, so they're still on even ground with them. Hopefully being able to get more rounds in their pocket.
Ooh, Cyberbite, very aggressive angle up here through main, but Rumor hits the headshot, so that'll eliminate Cyberbite, and already going to move up, try and take a little bit more control as we see, yeah, Rumor using the Viper ultimate, so that'll be sight for Error, as Rumor gets another pick onto Dr. Ghoul, trying to catch anybody off guard through the smoke, pushing through. So Strike going to just kind of slow things down a little bit, go for a couple sprays, try and get some damage in before they try and push into sight. But there's actually the lurk down mid. I'm not sure if they know about it. Okajix just dancing around this Viper's pit, gets a nice shot onto Germs. Phoenix, yeah, on that lurk, lands a
One
shot on
enemy
Panther,
remaining.
but going to back off as Rumor finds another pick onto Okajix as well.
Yeah, the Rumor already having Viper's Pit because of some great rounds from them, so they're able to just quickly take Viper's
Imposter
Pit
kill.
down, and all they have to do is sit in the Viper's Pit for the rest of the round and wait for bomb to go off. And a great headshot there from LandW at the end, just to get one more rifle out of Error's hands here. Sorry, and he will go ahead and save his. So he'll have a rifle for this round, but the rest of his team might have to save weapons, save econ.
Yeah, they'll force through a little bit. We'll see, as we can see that there's 3 rifles in the hands of Strike here, and then the Sheriff on Okajix, who is fairly close to having his ultimate back. So I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe some type of play to try and get him the orb that's placed down A main. But there's going to be a lot of fight back if he does try and go for that, as the entirety of Error's team is in this position, as Rumor finds that opening pick onto Cyberbite again. That's the second round in a row that's happened. I'm just really unfortunate for Cyberbite. Nokajix going with the spray with the Sheriff, doing quite a bit of damage, but Germs just landing that headshot with the Vandal, and Big Fin able to follow through onto land as well. So Dr. Ghoul with the classic, trying to get any type of information really, as Panther gets a pick with the Molly, and that's going to put a rifle into Dr. Ghoul's hand. So this is actually a good situation, but no, they line up and just sprays them both down and able to get both those kills in just like a fraction of a second. So unfortunate timing right there for Strike.
Yeah, great round from them. And it looks like we're going to be taking a timeout here from Strike. Or from, yeah, actually, Strike here. Um, so, like to recap that round. What I will say about that is great take from them. Strike only has 3 rifles on them, so they decided to force through it anyway, but they're still down a couple rifles. But they got some good kills, but Error just having the weapons advantage. And one thing I've noticed between Strike and Error is they're taking completely different approaches to attacking, whereas Strike at the beginning was moving back and forth between A and B site so many times, trying to bait the team on A, get a plan on B, so the defenders didn't know where they were at. So they could have information difference, is what I like to say. But what Error is doing here is just rushing the sites, and it's actually working really well for them. They're on a hot streak right now, and we'll see if they can keep that going.
Yeah, their Error's strategy is much more about just overwhelming the site more than anything, and just taking those aim duels. And so, honestly, in my opinion, it's definitely a more attacker-sided strategy. Um, to just try and stomp onto site and take the duels and try and win them out is Big Finn taking a duel, but Dr. Ghoul with the Phantom able to land those shots onto him, so that'll be a fairly early opening pick. But that that lockdown will be placed, and now Air just kind of splitting up a little bit. Seems as though they're trying to get a little bit of information here, as Phoenix already pushed out back into the back of yellow here, and has the opportunity for a pick on a Panther as he only has the judge, and yeah, there it is. Lands the headshot onto Panther, so that'll even things back out. But I'm not sure if they know that Cyberbite is right here in that site with that stinger, but no. He swings out, and Phoenix able to get that pick, so that the Sage Wall will go up to slow things down, and now Error will be just defending in this post plant.
Yeah, and that was a great rotate from them, just getting the picks out on Strike, able to get that wall down in post plant. And that's going to be very difficult for Strike to retake this because they only have this small little. And it looks like they're just going to get all 3. They have this small little choke point to go through. There's nothing they can do about that. It's a 3v3, but Error here is staring down one small choke point, whereas Strike doesn't know where they can be. They can be behind yellow. They can be on top of boxes. They can be below. They just don't know.
Yeah, Error just taking after that spike was planted, they just took positions everywhere really, and just that, like you said, that choke point just narrowing things down. So Error can be everywhere, and Strike only had one direction to go. So great post plant play right there coming out from Error.
Yeah, it looks like Error's on their streak here. Maybe attack is their side. Germ's already getting a pick.
Yeah, and that'll be onto the Jet of Okajix, so that'll push the defense back a little bit here as the attacker lockdown is placed, and the KO Molly even. That's actually a great throw onto those stairs to push any player that could be playing in that doorway back, as Rumor finds another headshot onto Land W, and Panther with the judge just trying to make something happen really, but Big Finn is going to gun him down and stop that idea in his tracks. Dr. Ghoul, nice headshot onto Big Finn on this retake though.
Yeah, it's the same thing Air's been doing. Just these fast takes are working out super well for them. So why change it, you know? if it's been working for them, don't change it.
Last player
Dr. Ghoul
standing.
seeing Germs with the bow out, but just not. But Germs able to get the gun to get his gun out quick enough, and
And Germs with 3.
yeah. Germs just shutting things down, gets that opening pick on the round, and then once the spike is planted, just shuts down any attempt to retake that site. So great play right there from Germs.
Yeah, this is what I mean when I say Valorant is a momentum-based game. Error is, once they got 2 rounds, they realized that this is their side, attack is their side, and they're just continuing to rush A site, and it's working for them. They're taking advantage of, think about it, it's 5 attackers. At most, you'll probably have 3 defenders on the side. So it's a 5v3. It's a mini 5v3 if they're rushing site super fast, because it doesn't give the other team an opportunity to rotate. So then if they can get those picks, they're always up players.
Yeah, and already Big Finn took a little bit of damage actually from that Killjoy turret as he moved out onto rafters, and we're gonna see an immediate trade. Yeah, great shot. And Rumor just swinging out, getting aggressive with that Phantom, landing the headshot onto Ghoul, and now he's going to use the Viper's Pit, try and just secure the round using it. So Land W with the Sheriff. It's going to be a little bit more difficult now to make something happen, as this Viper's Pit is going to be a doozy to retake. But Land W slowly walking in, but will get gunned down by Phoenix. But Panther actually finds a shot onto the Viper, so that'll get the Viper's Pit down. So it's going to be a little bit easier as the sight lines are now made, but Germs and Phoenix just holding angles, lands those headshots, and Error continues on their streak.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed about both teams are doing this very well. Strike and Error, Strike whenever they were on offense, is once they're on site, their post plants are beautiful. Both of them, both teams. They know where to sit. They know what angles to hold. Because whenever the other team is retaking, whether it be Strike or Error, whenever somebody's retaking, they don't know where they are. But the post plant team knows where they're going to retake from. So if they just sit and hold those angles that they know how to hold, that they've been practicing, it's working super well for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And already, they're just going to try and push out onto site again. Cyberbike finding the first pick onto Rumor, but Big Finn with the KO ultimate is able to find 2 before getting down by Okajix. But Germs immediately trading things out. Dr. Ghoul with this judge playing fairly deep. So the range is just going to not work out as Germs with the rifle finds the pick, and Phoenix will actually res Big Finn from that down state, and so now Panther all by himself in this 4v1 with this judge. Might be able to get something done in this backside area, but no. Big Finn, yeah, Big Finn just running up and just spraying down with the pre-fire, and Air actually bringing this game back really close. They're actually they're only 1 round behind now, so
this is very impressive from Air, seeing this streak of just 8 rounds in a row. That's insane. They started this half with only 2 wins, and now they're at 10. This game is a lot closer. We're at 10-11 now, and currently Error has the momentum. So if they can continue doing what they're doing, I think they have this. And it looks like they're actually going to try the split this time, even though they've been trying the aggressive.
Yeah,
they're stacking A.
This is a really good situation for Error, as both Phoenix and Big Finn get picks on A. So this is going to definitely look like an A take as Panther finds a shot onto Big Finn, but land also onto Phoenix. But he thinks that he has a flank, even though that the rest of Error is actually planting on B. So now they will be able to get this post plant down, but they're actually moving towards B main. So it seems as though both the teams are actually going to meet in this area.
Yeah, this very different from them, but it clearly worked out. I think Strike kind of started figuring it out. They knew that they just kept pushing onto A super hard, but they were like, no, we're not gonna let it happen this time. So they stacked it. They had all their players on A except their Sage land in mid.
Oh, Rumor with a great spray through the smoke, and we're gonna see a series of trades coming through. Panther
Panther kills 3!
Panther kills everybody, but there's just not enough time. Oh my goodness. Error has brought it back into a tie game.
Yeah, this is insane. This is
Wow.
insane. Very impressive half from Air right here. It's crazy. Again, that round, they read them like a book. On A, they knew they were gonna stack A. They had all of Strike on A, and then this is the one time they decide not to full rush it. The one time no one is on B, they decide to go there. It's like they know, and it's crazy. Their strategy is working out super well for Air on offense.
Yeah, for sure. And now they're just going to respond with another rush, as there's only 2 players on A, so there's going to be a series of shots exchange as Big Fin is going to find that opening pick. Phoenix pushing forward, but Panther finding a quick pull, so that's going to slow things down immediately and land with a headshot onto Big Fin.
Not this time. They said not this time.
And now with the spike down on, now with the spike down on site, Cyberbite is going to use the ult and figure out where the last 2 attackers are playing, and Germ's going to take a little bit of damage from this flank. So things are just completely slowed down. Germ's trying to land those shots onto Ghoul. He's just going to turn tail and run. Land getting aggressive, lands that headshot and goes for the next, and lands it.
From Lan.
Wow. A great hold right there, coming out from Strike in response to that round, to just that aggressiveness, really, from Air.
Yeah, that round, Strike said, nah, we're stopping this now. Air's streak ends here. So they were like, they were ready. They were ready on A. They were prepared for that. So
Yeah.
Strike getting perfect picks, land with a 3K, putting them to match point. Air has to get something done here, take it to overtime.
Yeah, now Air showing a little bit different. They're actually going B this time, as they've shown A for the most part fairly early every single round. So a little bit of a different look for this final round of regulation, as they're already starting to try and get out onto site. The defender lockdown will be placed in response to the Viper's pit. Nokajix with a spray, just guessing really and landing the shot onto Big Fin. So that's going to slow things down a little bit and put Strike into this.
Germs with the pick though.
Yeah,
it's a 4v4 now. With that Viper's pit now. Down.
Germ swinging out again, but no, Okajix. Oh no! Dr. Ghoul had great timing right there, but the stage wall.
And the res. Can they take this to overtime?
Slowing down quite a little bit, just going for a few sprays. Not quite there. Is Phoenix and Co. just sitting in the smoke, and no, Rumor leaving the Viper's pit creates the sight lines.
They are getting the kills. 2v3. Phoenix though.
Last player
2v2.
standing.
Panther.
There's going to be
the counter Viper's pit.
The counter Viper's pit, but the Odin going for the spray is going to do a little bit of damage. There's the stick. Oh no!
Defenders
a
win.
round. Holy.
Strike figuring it out in the very end right there, finally being able to put together the pieces and win that final round of regulation. And wow.
That was insane. That was a very good round there from Strike. Error was up players, and they were sitting in that Viper's pit ready to just hold that post play inside that Viper's pit the entire time. But Strike getting great picks, and then the counter Viper's pit. Once Error's Viper's pit went down and they knew where they were, that's when it started falling apart. Because then they get that Strike, and Panther gets that counter Viper's pit. So it's all up to Fry on the Killjoy for Error, and they couldn't see him, even though he had that Odin, and just couldn't get that spray onto him, so he gets the defuse. But very close
What do
game.
you want to
Error
call
with
Pirate?
that big streak on offense, almost taking it back.
Yeah, but with that, that's going to end the first match of tonight. It was definitely an exciting one. But we're going to go on a short break here. But coming up next, we'll have Vandals and Fractal playing each other. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Oath Esports. I'm Aiden Tees, and with me is Isaac or Linked Ghost. And we are going to be jumping right back in soon. We will be playing Icebox once again. We just came off of a very, very exciting match between Error and Strike. And so now we will be going into a game soon between Vandals and Fractal. I just want to go over an announcement real quick, a few announcements real quick before we jump in as we're waiting for everybody in the lobby. So this weekend on October 1st, there will be a volunteer event for anybody that wants to sign up. It will be on it'll be via an announcement on Discord, and it will be on October 1st from 1:30 to 4, and it is volunteering at the Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma. So anybody that wants to join with helping out with that is totally welcome. Just sign up via the announcement on Discord, and then also the fitness the fitness winner will be announced on Thursday between the Overwatch games, and this is actually going to be the big one. For the winner, it's going to be a new 27-inch 1080p and 240 hertz monitor. So big one. Make sure to get your fitness in and to enter that raffle. But going into this game, we're going to be seeing Vandals and Fractal. So these two teams we've actually seen.
I believe we've seen both.
We've seen both.
I believe so. I believe so.
Okay, so we've seen both these teams already, and yeah, I'm excited. Icebox is a lot of fun. So Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this match. What do you think, Isaac?
Yeah, I mean, as everybody saw with our last game, the momentum on this map is, I would say, it has the highest momentum kind of impact on all of the maps in Valorant. The momentum that you can carry and just snowball throughout the half is insane. I mean, who was it? Error was down pretty big at half, right? And they almost brought it all the way back. Um, and
Yeah.
like, that just shows the possibilities that you're never really out of it on this map. But really, I'm looking forward to seeing these two teams play. We saw, I believe, Vandals in week 1 and Fractal last week. I believe they unfortunately both lost last week. So we're gonna look to see who can really bounce back
Choose
from
your
that loss
agent.
and take it this week.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like you said, this is a huge momentum-based map. Um, Cause yeah, I mean, like you said, that last match between Strike and Error. I mean, Error was down 10-2 on the half, and they were able to bring it back. Unfortunately, they fell a little short, but that's okay. It was a fantastic effort from them to win. What was it, like 9 rounds in a row on their attack? So yeah, it's definitely something that can be rough on either side of the coin. Um, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see how these teams bounce back uh, from their performances last week and now approach it this week. So
As we see Vandals here with the Raze Duelist and Fractal with the Jet and Reyna Duelist comp, it'll be interesting to see. I personally love seeing Raze played on this map, so I think we're going to enjoy watching Visions in this game.
yeah, I have to agree with you. I definitely think Raze is a very strong duelist on a lot of maps. But on Icebox in particular, just these kind of, I guess, narrow corridors really plays into her kit in the grenade and the boombot. So um, already we're jumping in um, as Fractal is Hoofy making some moves, getting a little bit of damage uh, out on, and yeah, Coop lands that first headshot onto Gia, and Ubidi following through as well. Zufi with the spray, with the ghost, having to reload and a little bit of gunfight with Visions, but
Last
takes
player
care of things as
standing.
Beagle trades things through immediately. Now it's all up to
One
Beagle with
enemy
the classic,
remaining.
lands that first right click,
1v1.
so now it's in the 1v1
Spike
versus
planted.
Stelio. Swinging out, finds the gunfight, and
Wow.
yes! Lands the shot on Stelio. That's a 4K for Beagle Gaming, starting off very strong on this defense with the Viper.
That was just elite composure from Beagle Gaming right there. I mean, you saw the numbers just dwindle away for Vandals right there, but Beagle stayed locked in, played the time well, and was able to close out that round with a nice 4K.
Yeah, like you said, composure. It was a little bit of a rough situation in the 1v3 actually going into it. But just being able to isolate those 1v1s just worked out perfectly in his favor and allowed him to take that first round for his team.
Yeah, as we see another mid to A approach from Fractal here.
Yeah, slowing things down a little bit here as the smokes will go down. Make it seem as though they are going to commit to A, but we don't see a whole lot of movement happening if you look up in the top left at the mini-map. So defense holding strong right here, not committing towards anything too soon here as Zufi finds a very nice shot with the Sheriff from the rafters. So that's going to open things up just a little bit here on the A site for the rest of Fractal. Coop taking an aggressive swing with the Ghost and going to continue moving up. But Visions with the Spectre lands a nice shot onto Zodicus trying to cross. So now the defense in a fairly good situation, and Coop and Stelio actually kind of stuck in this corner here, typically trying to get out, but Coop slowing his retreat down and landing the shots.
Wow.
Visions, another nice shot with that Spectre,
One enemy
as
remaining.
he's just going to move forwards as Coop is taken out by Beagle.
Yeah, this is just really good team play here by Vandals on the retake. Fractal played really well getting on site together, but Visions didn't overcommit towards site. They played their numbers well, and they were able to work together with Visions. Um, Visions getting a nice few picks on that retake.
Yeah, honestly, on the defense, looking very strong. They're not trying. Even though there was a lot seen on A, they didn't over rotate too much, which honestly I like to see from a defense personally, because it means it's just they're patient and they're comfortable with the retake, as we've seen actually 2 rounds in a row now. Even though the spike has been planted, they just calm down, they play together, they play off of each other's utility, and then they retake the site. So, um, a little different from what we see from the attack, actually, is they just move right through. The smokes go down, and then they just have sight. They'll probably get the plant down shortly, but it doesn't seem as though they're too confident on where these defending players are. Visions with the
Spike
boombot
down
able to
B.
get a
There.
pick on Destelio. So actually a very good opener for this defense.
Yeah, that was great util usage right there by Visions to use her raise bot to get some intel and even actually get a pick. So that was just great work by, I mean, and another pick by Visions. Visions is really controlling this round.
Yeah, Visions showing how strong that Spectre can be in the right situation. But Zufi with a quick 3! Coop off the back of that triple finds the pick onto Visions, so that's going to open things up perfectly.
Wow.
But Zufi finds the last headshot onto Typicality. So great individual play right there from Zufi to find all of those picks and open things up perfectly for Fractal.
Yeah, it was beginning to look dire there as Visions just kept picking one off. But Zufi just took over right there. I mean, just getting 3 and then closing out the round with that 4th one. I mean, that was phenomenal. Great play out of Zufi.
Yeah, just using that using both those cloudbursts and that dot and that dash on in Jet's utility definitely allowed him to take a few of those more aggressive angles and be able to get out of there pretty easily. So Zufi showing off why Jet is considered so strong right there with that 4K in that round.
As we see another five stack here. Pretty aggressive play here from Fractal.
Yeah, and we'll see an immediate trade out fairly early in this round. Typicality,
Spike down A.
just taking
One
that
enemy
gunfight off of
remaining.
the back of Samson, and now after Zufi being eliminated by Beagle, it is now all up to Zodicus trying to find a little bit of damage here, but Samson with that Ares landing the final shots with the spray, and that will just add to Vandal's lead right there. A very good response after that round from Fractal.
Yeah, that was very good team play there by Vandals. They took a lot of team gunfights that round. You didn't see a lot of 1v1s. You saw a lot of Vandal players working together if someone would peek a corner, just holding each other's angles, which is really what you want to see on a defensive round.
Yeah,
Get out of my
2
way.
guns is better than 1, and Vandals showing that perfectly in that round is they're, like you said, just able to hold each other's crosses, and you can tell they really trust each other in that respect. But Zufi getting really aggressive with these jet knives, using the cloudburst to move forwards, but he's going to get picked off by Beagle. Coop trying to get this trade, but Typicality now
One
right behind
enemy
Beagle
remaining.
Gaming, and Visions with actually 2 with the nade as well, and actually the 3rd with the rifle as well. So that'll be a flawless round coming out from Vandals on that retake.
Yeah, once again, you know, we described it last round. The nice team shots and team play by Vandals. I mean, you saw as Zufi got aggressive and as Coop got aggressive. I believe it was
Beagle
I believe
and
it was Beagle and Typicality. Yeah, they were playing great on the backside towards Snowman to get those 2 aggressive attackers. And then the great util once again by Visions that we saw the 2 rounds before. So this is really just good team play by Vandals.
Yeah, we mentioned it in the first round how Raze's utility can be very dangerous on this map, and Visions has been proving that time and time and again so far this game, as just mopping up kills with
Here.
both the boombot and the grenade. So Zufi already pushed up on top of Tube, so this is a very aggressive angle, and with that Sheriff, this is going to be a tough situation, and there's the grenade from Visions to push Zufi out of position, so Zufi going to have to drop down and try and get away, which he successfully will, as Ubity is going to get the plant down onto B, so this is going to be a 5v5 retake coming out from Vandals.
Yeah, Visions has been on point with the Raze utility, but we're going to try to see if Vandals can retake once again with a 5v5 here on the B side. As Raze pops her ult. Oh!
Oh
Two-piece
my
out of
gosh.
Visions!
And now Ubity is found out, but he's going to find the pick onto Samson, so that's going to slow the retake down a little bit more, but Visions actually finds himself a third on the round. So there is a chance for the ace, but no, Beagle, as soon as I say that, finds the pick onto Ubity. It's now up to Zufi to hold this spike down, but the wall is blocking the view. He's gonna have to swing, and Gia finds the final pick onto Zufi.
Wow.
A great retake right there coming out from Vandals, and Visions again with the Raze utility finds 2 picks with the ultimate the Raze the rocket launcher really. And yeah, just opened things up wide open for the Vandals retake.
Yeah, I mean, and Vandals timed that perfectly. Perfectly. They only had 0.5 seconds left there on the defuse, so they had to go now, and they were able to close it out.
Yeah. Yeah, just pushing things to the limit a little bit right there for Vandals. Might have been a little bit too close for comfort, but they still got the round. So
Yeah, it gets the heart rate going, you know. Sometimes you love to see it.
yeah. Um, with pretty much off the bat here, we're gonna see the Viper's Pit being used by Beagle, so that's going to deter any type of attack that might be heading towards that direction. But Fractal seems to be opting more towards the A site anyways, so slowly trying to move on to site. This null command coming out from the KO is going to stop any type of utility that might be used by the Vandals. But now that it's gone, Samson is actually going to respond with his own. So anything that any flashes or anything that might want to be used by the attacking team is going to be shut down as Visions with a nice shot through the wall onto Coop, and Samson with his own onto Celia. Now Visions just pushing forward, trying to get aggressive, and finds a third Samson on the defuse. Visions trying to defend, but no, Zufi with a collateral with the Sheriff, but typicality shuts things down. And very good attempts right there from Zufi. It was actually a 1v5. Finds 2 with the Sheriff, but just overwhelmed by all the rifles. And Vandals finding their 6th round.
Yeah, I mean, Visions just had some crisp shots there to really kind of just close out the round. I mean, they had numbers advantage, but Visions just got 2 or 3 there, and then it was basically over. Zufi was able to get 2, but you know, in a 1v5, you can't really ask for much more. So that was still really good from Zufi, but Vandals was able to close that one out.
Yeah, Vision's definitely showing some confidence in these last few rounds. Just pushing in front of his team, just really taking that entry role. And it's working out perfectly for Vandals as Vision just runs in and actually gets a lot of picks. Whoa. It's a nice shot from Zufi through the wall, almost eliminating Vision. So he's going to back off immediately in effort to get a heal. Zufi finding another shot onto Samson. So that's going to create a little bit of space for the rest of Fractal as Visions is able to cut off any a little bit of the entrance way with that operator. But it seems as though Fractal is going to opt to rotate away.
Yeah, Zufi with this operator is really looking dominant. I mean, that's really what you want to see out of your Jet. Jet is usually referred to as the operator agent, so that's what we really like to see.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Ooh, Coop, nice shot on divisions. So that'll
30
slow
seconds left.
things down a little bit for Vandals, as that was their main entry player here. Is Zufi now just spraying through the smoke? Fingers crossed you might hit something. But yeah, just continuing to do it. Oh, ooh. Almost actually
That was
hits
a
a
close one.
player. So it was really close. Almost hits Beagle on the cross. Um, but now with the spike down, this
Last
2v5,
player standing.
very good situation for Fractals. Zufi finds the shot onto Typicality, and Coop cleaning things up onto Beagle. That's a flawless round right there from Fractal.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what Fractal needed right there. Was a nice bounce back round. They were starting to see the lead kind of slip away, but they were able to lock back in, get a few picks. I actually believe they rotated bomb sites. So that was just a nice bounce back and momentum shifting round for Fractal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was a great round. Honestly, Zufi on that operator definitely turned the tide on that round. Just being able to get that opening pick into the back of A, and then just create a little bit of doubt and cut off some sight lines for the defending team. It was just great work by him. But Coop already moving forward into this position next to the generator due to these smokes, and ooh. Yeah,
Spike
Samson
planted.
had an opportunity right there, but Stelio shuts things down before anything can happen. But Vision's able to get a refrag almost immediately onto Coop. So that's going to make it a 4v4 once again. Vision's still getting those picks onto Stelio and just slowly clearing things out, using the boom pack to get a little bit of information. Great movement right there, as he's actually going to get a third on the round for himself. Now
He's just gonna go for the defuse.
yeah, he's just gonna
Last
try and
player
stick it,
standing.
and Beagle finds the pick onto Yupity, and yeah, Zufi, great attempt right there to hold off any type of attack, but Vision's just sticking the diffuse and shutting things down completely. There's just no chance really, as the rest of his team just kind of rushed that last attacker, um, and yeah, great team play coming out from Vandals.
Yeah, I mean, we just see Visions take over round after round. I believe he got 3 in that round, and then just decided to stick the bomb because he knew he was in a favorable position because Zufi had backed up there. So that was just good awareness right there from Visions.
Yeah, and already with these smokes being placed, and Vision's just running in, finds 2 with the ultimate, just blast packs right into their spawn, catching them off guard with the ultimate, finds 2 off the bat, putting Vandals into this 5v3 man advantage literally immediately.
Visions is just looking unstoppable. I mean, what can you do?
You will not kill my allies.
Yeah, Stelio will use the Sage Res to try and bring it back a little bit closer to an even man count, but wow. It's a great blast pack play coming out right there from Visions.
Yeah, we see Fractals kind of hold up in their spawn. They're not quite sure where to go now after the great play by Visions. It looks like they're trying to play for a pick and see if Vandals get a little bit aggressive, but it does not look like Vandals is moving an inch.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, now with 30 seconds, they're gonna start leaning towards B site. Um, but honestly, Beagle might be able to catch a wind of this and let the rest of his team know. And so now, yeah, he saw a few of the attackers, so he knows that this hit has to happen here
10
on
seconds
B
left.
site. The rest of the defenders will start moving in, but
Spike
Zufi
planted.
actually a very nice shot with that operator onto Beagle, back in Snowman, and now Visions with a nice
Wow.
pick onto UBD, and Zufi continuing with that operator, doing a lot of damage with this spike planted. It's actually in a fairly good position for Vandals to be able to
Oh,
Oh my gosh! What?
Visions is able to get the ace there because of the Sage revive, but
I
just
love explosions.
what happened? What?
Vision's putting on an absolute clinic this game. And wow, yeah, gets the pseudo ace, I guess. Able to get 5 kills on the round. Um, but due to the Sage res, isn't able to get the 6K, the famed 6K. Um, but wow, Visions putting in the work for his team.
Yeah, I mean this is similar to what we saw last week. I don't remember who exactly it was, but one player was just having an absolute phenomenal game, and this is what we're seeing here with Visions, just doing everything right, putting themselves in a great position.
Visions, oh no! Zufi with the Sheriff lands a headshot onto Visions.
Great, great.
That's going to
shots
open
right
things
there
up a
for
little bit.
Zufi.
Yeah, that'll open things up a little bit for Fractal. So, Coop finding a shot onto Samson, actually through the wall with the Spectre. So, that puts Fractal into a very good situation here. Is Zufi with having upgraded to this Vandal.
Yeah,
And, yeah. There's going to be a few awkward gunfights taking place right there as Beagle's going to escape with actually a kill on Stelio, who tries to repeat. And now, yeah, Vandal's starting to just absolutely collapse onto this site. And yeah, Beagle shutting things down. Typicality is going to get the defuse here. And Vandals just continue to just show
Last round in the half.
how to defend, really doing very well, playing off of each other just phenomenally.
yeah. I mean, we saw some great offensive performances last game by um, Strike and Error, but we're seeing a little bit of a defense clinic here from Vandals, and just solid overall team play. You know, not letting themselves get too aggressive because they are on defense, but really just sticking together, not over rotating, and just waiting for the perfect opportunity to retake these sites.
Yeah, and Fractal choosing to go a little quick here as they already have control of yellow. So this is totally possible for them to just get on a site and get that plant down, especially as the smokes are down. Beagle will send out a molly to try and slow things down, but it seems to have just missed Stelio as that plant will be placed down. Oh, the
Great
oh.
Hunter's Fury. Wow.
Yeah, fantastic Hunter's Fury, doing a lot of damage and getting a pick. So that's going to open up the
We see a
retake.
match with the Brim ult.
Yeah, Zodicus will get Samson with the ultimate, but Visions continuing forward with another one with that Raze ultimate onto Zufi. Now all up to Stelio, but Visions still another pick, getting a 4K on the round, and that's going to be the half in favor of Vandals, and Visions just doing amazing, really.
Yeah, I mean that the takeover power from Visions is just absurd. Just to put it plainly, I mean there seems to be times where Fractal just has the outright advantage. You know, they have numbers advantage, Peeker's advantage, and then Visions turns the corner, and the next thing you know, Vandals wins the round. I mean, it's just I haven't seen something like this in a very long time. It's just great performance by Visions, and even when he falls, if Visions falls, the team stays alive and is able to just work together on just a retake. I mean, it's just great teamwork here from Vandals.
Yeah, and I know we've said his name a lot already, but Visions, I mean, like you said, being the first in and just being very effective with the with his utility to be able to use those packs. I mean, we've seen it multiple times already. He just uses those packs, pushes into really an uncomfortable position for the attacking team, and and it just really allows the rest of his team to be able to push in, because then you've got somebody looking in the wrong direction, maybe, right?
Hmm.
And that just opens up, and it just kind of opens up the floodgates for the rest of his team. And then him, on top of that, being able to consistently get picks whenever he does that as well, just
Hmm.
makes it 100 times to happen.
Yeah. I mean, we're seeing good plays come from Fractal, good offensive plays. They get the spike down, they're holding good angles, but Visions and Vandals are just having great retakes. It could be because of I believe this map is defender sided, so we could see if Fractal starts to build some momentum as they move on to the defender side. Um,
Yeah, um, I agree with that. Just it being they, it's not that they weren't attacking well, because
mhm,
they were getting onto site.
mhm,
They're
Switching
getting
sides.
plant down. They're getting into their post plant positions. Everything is going right for them.
mhm.
It's just the just more towards the end of the round, when it comes down to crunch time, it's just the gunfights aren't going in their favor, and that's just the
Mhm.
way it is sometimes. Um, so yeah, now that they're on defense, maybe it will be a little bit easier for them, because they're just on defense. They can just hold the angles, they can hold the crosses, and so it might be a little bit easier for them um, in that situation.
Yeah, maybe we can see them start to match Vandal's ability to, take team gunfights and really play together and not take any 1v1s. So I feel like if Fractal can start to move towards a team-oriented defense, this game can start looking a little bit more favorable towards them.
Yeah, absolutely. And oh wow, that is a very fast take through mid over towards B. Um, Fractal chose to just stack A, just take a little bit of a gamble right there, and Coop with a nice shot on the Beagle. So that's going to slow things down a little bit, as he's actually going to give it
Down.
two
Wow.
more. So that's 3 picks already for Coop. And just doing a lot of damage as Visions finds the pick onto Stelvio, just trying to hold this kitchen area for his team. And now, as the rest of Fractal
Spike
push
planted.
in, they're going to
Last
find that.
player
And Visions,
standing.
oh, in this corner, I don't think they know he's there. He's going to get a little bit of chip damage, but
Oh.
Zufi getting the last 2 picks with that frenzy. And great individual play right there from Coop, and great retake from Fractal.
Yeah, I mean, this is the defense heavy that we kind of mentioned. Like I said, we hopefully would see more team play and team oriented gameplay coming out of Fractal, and that's what we saw in that round. Well, we also saw, Coop having a phenomenal three-piece there to stop the rotate from Vandals, but once Coop was kind of taken out of the play, the rest of Fractal was able to just make sure the round was closed out there.
Yeah, for sure. And already we're seeing a much different approach from Vandals on this attack, following that just a little bit more of a default, where everybody's just kind of spread out, trying to get information, trying to get picks. And Coop is going to have to face 2 players right here, and he's going to do quite a bit of damage onto Samson. But Vision's swinging out, finds the pick with the classic, so that'll be a weapon upgrade, as well as evening the man count up again. He's going to just continue to push forward,
Wow.
finds the pick onto Zodicus.
Yeah, we
So
just see Visions continue to be aggressive, but nice team shots here from Fractal.
Samson trying to make something happen with that right click with the classic, but
Spike
Ubidi
planted.
just guns him down with the Spectre. But the plant is down now, so um, Vandals just in this defense almost, now that the spike is planted. Just holding these crosses for each other behind yellow and main, as the rest of Fractal are going to start this retake. The Cloudbursts are thrown down to try and just cut off a little bit of sight lines. And
Last player
the Sage
standing.
Wall is placed
Oh.
up, and now Zufi gets that first pick, and the defuse will just be stuck as Zufi finds that final pick. And yeah, great great awareness right there, coming out from Stelio, that the last two members of Vandals only have classics, and um, that Sage Wall, it has just enough hit points on it to
Mhm.
where it's just so hard to break quickly or
Mhm.
fast enough, really, with just the classics, that it just pretty much secured the round, um, for Fractal as that wall was placed.
Yeah, like you said, Aiden, the awareness there from Stelio, both knowing how long it would take to destroy the wall, but also knowing the location of the players on where to place the wall. So really
Mhm.
just good awareness there from Stelio to help Fractal close out that round.
Yeah, and they'll move into this bonus here with a few weaker weapons, but and Vandals with rifles for the most part. Coop just holding B by himself, already getting a little bit of pressure here as they're going to slowly walk up towards site, trying to get a little bit of information, and Coop
Oh.
doing a little bit of damage here, and Samson just pushing forwards.
Oh.
Oh, Coop landing that shot onto Samson, so he's going to upgrade to the Vandal here as Visions
Wow.
swings out, but Coop, very nice shot onto Visions. So that shuts down all the players that were trying to take any type of control onto B. So that leaves the remaining attackers leaning towards the A side here.
Yeah, you saw Coop there kind
30
of playing a
seconds
ring
left.
around the Rosie around that B bomb site, but was able to get the first pick, upgrade to the rifle, get the second one, and now Fractal was able to move their whole attention over towards this A bomb site. But it does seem like Vandals is potentially rotating, although they don't have much time to do this.
Yeah, with only 10 seconds left, Beagle's going to have to really try and make it over
Oh,
to the side. It's going to be really close for this. And
I don't think
I
he
don't
got
know.
it. I don't think he got.
Oh no, it doesn't
It didn't.
matter. As
It
Coop
didn't matter.
lands the shot onto Beagle anyway, so the plant won't be placed. Great defense coming out from Fractal, being very patient right there. As I mean, the only they didn't even kill everybody. Coop had all the
Mhm.
kills on that round, um, which was only 3. So
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean, Coop was able to just get it done over towards that B bomb site. I mean, you got exactly what you needed. Not too many, not too little. You only needed 3, and that's what Coop got. I mean, just been playing phenomenal over towards that B bomb site. That just not letting any just overwhelming pressure come through.
yeah, and also doing very well. He
Mm.
gets picked off immediately. uh, by Visions with that sheriff. So
Plant the
Visions will upgrade up to the Vandals. Very good situation for him as he's gonna get the pick onto Zuby, trying to stop that spike from being planted by jumping up on top of that wall. So immediately a 5v3 situation, for Fractal to try and retake. And with these weaker weapons, it might be a little bit more difficult, but it's still not completely impossible, as Spectres are still fairly strong. Um, and now just kind of pushing
Gotta make a
forward,
move.
trying to clear. Yeah, they're trying to make a move, trying to figure out where all these attackers are. As Zodicus starts to break that wall, and Visions swinging out very wide, has the opportunity. Yes!
Oh.
He runs out of ammo with the Vandal, but just switches to the Sheriff and lands the final shot. And Visions continuing to show just they honestly just very strong aiming abilities. Um, and yeah, 35 and 11 already on this game. He's a chance at 40.
Yeah, yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. I mean, that was a good. Um, I mean, you saw Fractal kind of winning a few defensive rounds in a row, stringing together some plays. His Visions didn't look like he had just insane star power that he did the first half, but then he just brings it right back and kills all of them the next round.
Yeah, absolutely. And off the back of that round, they're just going to just thunder through mid as is actually going to be able to find that first pick on divisions. So that's the entry down, but Beagle able to respond onto Zufi. Coop
Spike
playing
down
very
B.
a little passively, through main, able to get the first pick onto the planter, and Stelio moving in onto Samson as well. There's the flash coming out from Coop and able to find himself another one, and that'll be the final kill as Stelio cleans things up, and Ubity's going to take care of the last bit of the defuse and get that orb towards his ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, that was, after just a devastating round by Visions, it kind of seemed like it stopped the momentum, but Fractal was able to just bring it right back. Coop has just been dodging and maneuvering so great over there at the B bomb site. It seems like he's able to get one or two every single round, sometimes three or four, and really just not let the Vandals. Not let Vandals get too much presence over there at the B bomb site.
Yeah, Coop definitely being a little elusive um, over there on B, just trying to play where really they just don't expect him to. Oh, very nice shot from Zufi with that updraft on top of the tube, finding that opening pick. But Visions responds with the
Oh,
oh, nice headshot by Zufi, and he's going to just or dash forwards. And a little bit of an awkward gunfight as Samson had a flash in his hand, but he's going to be able to land that headshot onto Zufi and shut down that play. And very good attempt right there from Zufi with the dash forward, getting aggressive and into Samson's face, but the
yeah. I mean,
flash.
after a couple trades, we're back here at a 3v3. Yeah, that gunfight was just that was crazy. It does look like Vandals is going to try to move this back over towards A, but Fractal might be reading this.
Yeah, I think they hear the remaining players of Vandals moving up through A main. So it seems as though they
30
are
seconds
positioning
left.
themselves for a little bit more of a retake, more than anything. So yeah, already moving through. They're gonna try and hit it fast as Stelio already clearing all through the back of sight. Ubity as well, following through from the rope and is just going to drop back behind this wall. Goes for the gunfight, but typicality landing the shots and eliminating him. And now Stelio looks like is going to be the next in line for this swing. But Zodicus
Last player
swinging out
standing.
first, and
Wow.
ooh, getting taken out by this shock dart. And now with that KO, Molly is just running out of time. Typicality going in for the kill and lands the final shot onto Stelio, securing the round, putting Vandals into match point now.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a great plant position and utility use there by Vandals. I think Typicality was able to actually get the last three there, and one with
Mhm.
his shock dart. So that was just really good awareness and positioning there from Vandals, and the Sage Wall as well from Gaia, or yeah, from Gia. So I really liked that post plant situation there from Vandal. As we move on to match point, let's see if they can close it out.
Yeah, that the KO knife will show that there's at least two members over towards A main. And so smokes will be placed in response. Ooh, Zufi and Coop
Mm.
being very aggressive through B main, being able to cut off that rotation. So now Vandals is actually trapped in A, as the rest of Fractal know that they just have to that they have to go this way as Zufi and Coop are continuing to push in behind. Zodicus getting gunned down by Beagle through the wall. Very nice shot. And Visions with that raised ultimate finds the pick on Estelio. So there will be the Viper's Pit to cut off a lot of sight lines now. As Zufi
Wow.
lands, ooh, very nice shot onto Visions. And now
Two.
alone trying to go for this
Three.
retake, goes for the spray, but no. Gia shuts that down, and Vandals secure the win.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a very similar post plant situation there from Vandals that we saw the round before with the Sage Wall, the Sover utility right there. But they were actually able to use the Viper's Pit as well. So they just had complete utility and ability dominance right there. And I believe that was the reason they were able to close that round and ultimately the game.
Yeah, because Coop and Zufi moving up behind very aggressively and very quickly. It actually worked in their favor for the most part. But as soon as that Viper's Pit went up, cut off all those sight lines, it just made it 100 times. And Vandals looking very strong on Icebox.
Yeah, absolutely. And great team play coming out from Vandals. I've mentioned many times their post plant, but also recognizing, like you said, Aiden, the pressure on the flank from, I believe it was Coop. They knew they had to press forward. They knew they had to get the spike down. So they just flat out ran onto site, got the picks, set up, and that was that.
Yeah, but after that that was to close out a very exciting day actually of games for Oath Esports. So thank you for tuning in. I just want to reiterate that this Saturday, October 1st, from 1:30 to 4 p.m., we do have some volunteer work if you would like to sign up for the regional food bank for Oklahoma. If you would like to sign up, that will be in via the announcement on Discord. And then also on Thursday, we will be having our Overwatch games. Those very fun to watch. So if you would be interested, they are at the same times, 7 and 8 on Thursday, and in between those matches, actually, we will be having our announcement for the fitness winner. And this week is actually going to be the big one. We've got a 27-inch, 240 hertz, 1080p monitor. So make sure to get in that raffle. So yeah, uh, with that, thanks for tuning in to Oath Esports, and we will see y'all next week.
Have a great week, everybody.